the light and let it shine.
Not the chorus, please.
The night.
I forgot how ridiculous this movie was. Any sales role where you're working 137 hours with 0 sales is not a place that I would want to be. This sounds like a very transactional sales environment where it's based on business to consumer selling, like selling cars, or insurance sales, where you're making outbound phone calls to people, or even real estate. Overall, transactional selling is just a grind no matter what industry you're in, and it's just not fun. It's not that rewarding. There are people that make a ton of money in transactional sales that are like that, but it usually comes after like years of getting in the trenches with this, and you really do need a certain personality type. It's really not for everybody. I'd argue that if you have the ambitions of sales, like if the reason you're pursuing sales is the income potential, you might as well just go into business to business sales. It's more sophisticated, it's a more complex sales environment involving multiple stakeholders, and when you develop that skill set, it will translate with you for the rest of your life, no matter what career, no matter what business you start, especially if you're an entrepreneurial person. I worked in medical device sales, and not only is the income potential through the roof, but it was a field-based sale. Now you could do this in tech sales, you do this in pharmaceutical sales. These are all field-based B2B sales, but you get so much in-person exposure and you get an entrepreneurial skill set that you develop of deciding on where you're gonna be each day because you have that autonomy. For example, in medical device sales, you wake up each day, you determine where you're gonna spend your time and which customer accounts you're gonna focus on. So when I started a business down the line and actually did become an entrepreneur and got into real estate investing and things like that, I was just so much more prepared because I developed that skill set, which you don't really get in B2C selling, selling cars, doing insurance sales, because you're really just developing the skill set of persuasion in a phone call in a very uncomfortable environment. Now, don't get me wrong, if you get good at that, it's a very rare skill to develop, but at the same time, it's really only useful in that type of selling environment, which most people don't want to stay in anyway. So yeah, just get out of this type of selling, get out of transactional selling, get into B2B sales if you really want to make a good income and if you want something that's more rewarding and will serve you down the line in your professional career.